Hello, beautiful people. I want to share something completely different with you today. This is not something that I usually do, and I've decided that I need to start sharing this stuff. So, bonus, you get a different side of Lizzie. So, let me share a little background about what I'm going to talk to you about today. I went to an amazing event called Fairy Congress. It's held once a year in Twisp, Washington, in an absolutely magical, enchanted place. Look it up. Fairy Congress, Fairy and Human Relations Congress. It changed my life. I know maybe I don't seem different, but I'm very different. And one of the things that happened at this event for me was there were many workshops you could take on different topics. Wonderful lineup of presenters and information, just absolutely outstanding. One of the workshops I went to, this is going to sound weird, so just bear with me. I went to the workshop and was in the workshop and doing the workshop, but didn't actually get to do the workshop because my guides came in and hijacked me to give me different information. So I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get to do the structure of the actual workshop. And I want to add that as a part of this workshop, the instructor took us through 3 guided meditations to put us in a place where we could visualize and then explore our relationship with our dragon. I was like, yes, I'm going to talk to dragons. Which I kind of did, but not really in the same context that the workshop was about, because my guides were like, oh, no. We're taking you to someplace else. We're giving you different information. So that's cool. I like receiving information, and I realize I need to start passing it on. So I want to share with you some notes that came out of that workshop that I had a different result from. So this may get a little scientific, but you can look it up. I don't want to break down too much science in this. If you're interested, if this resonates with you, you can look these terms up, and maybe I'll get all nerdy and put links in the comments. There are these things called Birkeland currents, and a dude named Birkeland discovered them like at the turn of the century, a while ago. And what they are is like extension cords that come out of the sun that power up our planet and all the other planets in our solar system. So it's like an umbilical, and like the sun is the placenta, and it runs our it runs our solar system on electricity. I didn't know about this, but the sun had shown me this information one day about these long chains of information that look just like cords, like extension cords, binary code. And because the sun didn't use words but used pictures to communicate with me, I did not know even how to do a search on what I'd seen. But I'm pretty tenacious when it comes to finding out what's going on. And so then I finally stumbled upon this information about the Birkeland currents. So it was a real thing, a real scientific thing that the sun was showing me about the sun, but in a different context than science understands it right now. So I had to give you that background, and that happened like at least 2 years ago, if not 3 years ago, that I got that information from the sun. So just a week ago at Fairy Congress, I got this new information that relates to those Birkeland currents, which are about information, upgrade, all the spiritual things, all of the vibrational frequencies, all of the electricity that we run on. So what I learned is that those Birkeland currents, they have this binary code that I saw the first time the sun showed me about them. They're actually, they showed them as ones and zeros, which would be binary code. But this recent download that I got at the workshop was that that binary code is actually little particles. And I am not a very sciencey person. That's a whole nother story. I love it, but I wasn't able to take it in school. So I don't know a lot about it. So when I get information like this, actually, I think it's pretty cool because I am not biased with any knowledge. I just take it in, write it down, get as exact as I can with the references to what I'm being shown. and then I go looking for more scientific information to back it up. So what I was shown is that these things, which I think are called protons, I don't know, you can feel free to comment on this, but these particles literally come from the sun, fall through our atmosphere, and land on the earth. And then they're funneled into, it showed flowers, but they're funneled into everything. But the specific example that was given was flowers, and how these particles flow down into the center of the flower and go down through the stem, down through the roots, down through the earth, and power our planet in the center of the earth, the core. And that was a fascinating development, because I just thought we were electrically connected, as in the Birkeland currents and how those are known in science. But this showed everything happening in a different way, or maybe it's a parallel way. So basically flowers, all plants, but especially flower blossoms, are like funnels that catch the sun's energy and root it into the earth. The metaphor is so perfect, because it's like the truth of it. We don't even have to make a metaphor. We can just say the words, and that's exactly what's happening. So that was fascinating. And they showed me, my guides, or whoever you want to call it, that's giving me this information, showed me this scenario over and over and over again about how the little protons, tiny little particles, come down through the petals into the center of the flower, down the stem, and into the earth. And then there was a second part to this information, which was a crystal they were showing me. And I didn't know what kind of crystal it was, but I got out my favorite book by Karen Fraser. Woohoo! That's probably backwards. It looks backwards on the screen I have. Anyhow, it's called Crystals for Healing by Karen Fraser. And I looked at every picture in the book, and I realized that the crystal they were showing me is called selenite. And it has a very luminescent look to it. It like glows, like when you're holding it in the sunlight, it kind of glows, and it has like these striations in it, little like, they're almost like scratches, but they're not. They're like inner lines on the cylindrical body of it. And so it showed selenite deep within the earth, receiving this light energy, these photons. Again, I'm not sure if photons is the right word, but I'm just going to use it for this video. This energy that comes from the sun comes in through the flowers, the trees, and everything, and goes down through the roots into the earth. And there's selenite deep within the earth. Again, I don't know if this is scientifically supported or not. I'm just telling you what I was shown. And it activates those crystals and lights them up. And then there was a second aspect to this information, which was about dragons. So this is how it ties back into, I was at a dragon workshop. But it showed dragons igniting these crystals. So the photons arrive, and then the dragons ignite the crystals, and then this powers everything up. So it's like a duality, the sun and this dragon energy igniting the earth, the core of the earth, to power and feed everything here on planet Earth, on Gaia. So that was really kind of interesting. And then there was this second aspect to the energy that showed these crystal structures, which could be selenite, but looked a little different. They had like a fiber optic type structure, where the ends of the crystals weren't geometric, but were rounded, sort of like the outside of a raspberry has all those little bumps. It was like that, but it was white, like selenite, translucent, milky white. So I don't know what that was about, but they showed that too. And this energy gets stored in the earth and powers the earth. And what else was there? Oh, the last piece was, I don't know if this was related or not, but it seems like it could be. So the sequence of life, of being, of creation, of energy starts as a drop, like a drip drop, into nothingness. And that creates a ripple. And then from the ripple, it turns into a funnel. And then the funnel turns into a vortex, and the vortex becomes a torsion field, and a torsion field generates energy. So I thought that was super interesting. And then the third thing I learned was that the male and the female energies on the planet right now are merging, not merging in like they don't exist individually anymore, but merging in like a partnering, like a blending, like a supportive alliance, which I thought was very beautiful and super encouraging in these times when there's so many weird energies coming through and everybody's thinking that it's about them and there's something wrong with them and they feel bad, and it's just a lot of difficult, or I should say challenging energies coming through from the cosmos. We're traveling through these intense gamma rays right now in our whole solar system being pulled along by the sun, and things are hard. Like, they feel really challenging. Don't take it personally. This is not about you. In fact, I should do another video that addresses just this. It's not about you. It's about the weather. It's like the weather. It's happening to us all. We are all feeling the same effect. In fact, I'm totally going to do a second video about this right now as soon as I finish this one. But I wanted to add that in because this information coming through from Fairy Congress, I feel like is a part of that. Like, we need to know that we are a part of something much greater than ourselves, and that we need to trust in the natural cycles, trust in that we are always held in love by beings and entities who are very much invested in our success and happiness as inhabitants of this planet. And since this is now an 11-minute video, I'm going to say bye-bye. Thank you for listening. I love you all. If you have any information to add to that, please comment below or contact me through my website. I love to share information on this kind of thing and find out more from other people. Okay, have yourself a fabulous day. Bye.